There was a Kenyan student who entered a local chess competition and ended up being featured by New York Post, BBC, and other major publications. How come? It turned out that he played a shameless gambit. He disguised himself as a woman and entered a female section. He defeated a former national chess champion and then Ugandan top female player, and after some time organizers figured it out and of course expelled him from the tournament. Nevertheless, this raises the question, how come that men play chess so much better than women? I investigated it just out of curiosity and came up with three main differences in human psychology which actually go beyond chess. They were interesting, so I decided to share with you. The first factor is IQ distribution. While the average IQ of men and women is the same, the distribution, the variety is different, meaning there are greater quantity of men with above average intelligence, and this is where you find Fishers and Carlsons of the world, but there is also greater quantity of men with below average intelligence. Therefore, while enjoying beautiful combinations of Mikhail Tal, we shouldn't forget that someone out there is trying scholar's checkmate against you while you're rated 1100, and that guy is also a man. The next factor turns out to be a lot more interesting, but first let's look at this example when Magnus Carlsen is analyzing his game against Hu Yifan, the second strongest female player.
But if I take on h5 first, then ED check.
Queen takes h5 first. That's nice. Yeah, that's very nice. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Basically, Carlsen in this position suggested that black should move the knight to h5, giving this route for the queen to attack, rerouting one of the knights to this weak square, and arguing that black would have a great position, but Hu Yifan calmly said queen h5. And it turns out that queen h5 is actually a brilliant sacrifice that turns things upside down. Now, after pawn takes, white's got this pawn takes d5 beautiful discovered check, meaning black needs to move the king, but then white gets back their queen, then this pawn getting huge positional compensation for the rook. I mean, they're just winning. Something similar happened when Magnus played black against world's best female player of all time, Judith Polgar. Carlsen played here rook c8, a nice positional move, putting a rook to a semi-open file, but he blundered a tactical trick, bishop to b6, and now it's time for black to resign. The queen is attacked but can't move. If it moves away, there is queen takes d7 checkmate. However, it's all fun and really spectacular combinations, but when I checked actual tournament games between Carlsen and Hu Yifan, they were all pretty much the same. Long maneuver in battle, going to an endgame, and Carlsen slowly but surely outplays and wins. Now, what am I trying to say here? There were different researches that found that men's and women's mental abilities might be different. They might be better at different aspects. For example, men seem to have superior spatial intelligence, while women are better at linguistic skills and abilities. Now, what does it mean for chess? It might be that because of that superior spatial intelligence, men are somewhat better with positional chess and long-term strategic planning. And because chess in a nutshell is a strategic game, it gives men some advantage, and that's why they mostly dominate. With that being said, so far I haven't talked about a pretty much obvious factor called a participation gap. According to my YouTube analytics, among all of you guys and girls watching this video, there are only 12% women, and it's actually great because it used to be much lower. Before the Netflix movie The Queen's Gambit, it was just 3. So girls, we need you here, please come and join us. Now, the next question is, why there are so many men that are playing chess than women? There are various theories around that. Referring back to that wider distribution of different attributes among men, some say that in general there are more men that are disagreeable. By the way, if you guys want to disagree with that, that's okay. And also there are more men that are aggressive. And disagreeableness paired with aggressiveness potentially makes men more prone to competitive activities versus women who are more prone to collaborative activities. But of course here we stand on a shaky ground as all these data is a little bit vague and not enough to make any decisive conclusions. Let me share with you another interesting fact as well, because a lot of you guys have been asking me, like, can I get to this level in chess? Am I too old for chess? Can I become a grandmaster, etc.? So let me answer all these questions. So first off, let's look at Chess.com Blitz leaderboard. Now what we can see here is that all these guys are mostly around 3200 rated. Now, what's also crazy here, of course, is Hikaru playing 40,000 Blitz games alone, not counting Bullet, Standard, Rapid. The guy never slips. Anyways, if you wish to become one of those guys, you probably need to be a man who was born with above average intelligence and who started playing chess before the age of 12, because statistically, if you started earlier than that, you're less likely to become a GM. However, if you wish to dominate pretty much everyone, you need none of that. Now let's look at the average Bliss rating on Chess.com, and the average is 630, which is nothing super impressive. And therefore, if you wish to dominate 80% of your potential chess opponents, you only need to get to the rating of approximately 1000, I guess. And if you wish to just dominate pretty much everyone, you need to get to the rating of 2000, and it's not required to be a genius to get there. If you want to know how I went from 1600 to 2260 in just 1 year, check out this video right there. And of course, let me know what you think about this whole subject, I'm curious to know.